Hi everyone, Diana Rankin here, coming to you with messages and perhaps a prediction for the week of July the 16th to the 22nd. I always have to stop and think about that. It's a number, they're dates, but let's see what we have for this week for you. Well, as so many of you already know, and you've written me or you've commented below, we are not an easy energy, and that energy is so strong, and it's going to be just as strong this week. In fact, I think it's probably going to continue to build. um, I don't think we'll see, I'm not sure we'll see a major change in July. We will see a few more interesting facts, shall we say, and we will see some major uproar and changes coming in August and late July into August, and toward the end of August. We're going to see some real serious issues come forth. I'm in the U.S., so I'm seeing politics primarily from my worldview of the U.S. And so I want to say politically, there are some serious changes taking place. It's like the energy is in place for that, but it's not yet taking place. It's taking place under the current. I don't mean to be so vague about this, but I also don't want to add any fear into the world. I don't want to add any more anger into the world, but I do want to tell you this really, really strong energy that we're in. I will tell you some of the most powerful energy that I've experienced since probably the late 60s, early 70s. And I will tell you also, it's even more powerful than that energy, I feel. So I would go so far as to say this is the most powerful energy I've ever experienced in my entire life. But I want to say, with this kind of strong energy, we have a choice. We can use it constructively or destructively. And we're going to find both happening in our world, that some will use it destructively, others will be able to use it constructively. So every one of you out there that's hearing me today, everyone that hears my words or reads my words, please use this strong energy constructively. What do I mean by that? Well, with this kind of energy, you can take your life and leap forward to where you want to go, not just crawl. It may feel for many that you're sitting in what I call the Irish fog. The Irish, I call that because we Americans are so impatient. We want it now. We want to know the whole picture now. We want it now. And I've noticed when I've been in Ireland, there's a patience about the country and the people of the country. And there's this beautiful calmness there's a patience. It's like it doesn't necessarily take place today. It will take place tomorrow. There's just, I don't have another word for it but patience. So I tell my American clients and friends, we're just in the Irish fog. And that means that that doesn't mean nothing's happening. There's a lot taking place. But we're in that place where we may not be able to see what's taking place, or we may not know what's taking place, but we're feeling this anxiousness because we know there's a lot taking place. It's just too foggy for us to yet see. So what we can do in our own lives, though, in our personal lives, even though we may not feel we have anything to say about what's going on over here, in our personal lives, we can use this time for two ways. We can use this powerful energy to really constructively and with love to take our lives to the next level we want to go to. Whether that next level, whether we're at this point in our lives, we feel we're sitting in that Irish fog and not knowing what the next step is, or not knowing what the big picture is, now is the time to take those steps toward learning what our mission is, or learning what our lives are about, or learning how to get there. This is the time. And I want you to notice what's happening to my voice when I'm saying this, because that's not just about my voice. That's about everyone's voice. And you see, as I speak it, my voice clears up, because what is going on here is each of us have a voice, but we haven't always used it or felt we had the power of our voice. And with that strong energy that we're in, now is the time for your voice to be heard. I want to shout that. I want to jump up and down, because that is so exciting. Now is the time for your voice to be heard, but it must be used constructively, because there will be a lot of shouting that is deconstructive. Don't let that be in your life. If you're shouting, let it be for a constructive reason. The big word I want to give you, in addition to let your lives be, let that strong energy be constructive, not destructive. This is a big word, and this is a word I had to learn. I think sometimes I'm still learning it, but I certainly had to learn it as an adult, because I just didn't get it as a young person. And that word is discernment. You will have many opportunities this week to use discernment. So do keep in mind, is this right for my life? Is this right? Is this real? Is this fake? Really stop and listen, because there are a lot of so-called journalists. The real journalists I respect. They do their job. They work hard to get at the truth, and thank God we have a free press. I am so grateful that we have a free press, because a good journalist knows discernment. But there are, on both sides, there's a lot of fake news out there. There are a lot of fake stories out there. So use discernment. When you see something on social media, or even a friend says something to you, you might want to question in your own mind, if not aloud, certainly question to find the truth, because it's going to be harder and harder and harder to know what the truth is. We can use our intuition to find the truth, but discernment, use it. Let's see what Philip has to say. If you're new to my videos, by the way, welcome. This is one of my books. It's called The Master's Book of Answers by Philip. Philip is my spirit guide. I've worked with him most of my adult life, not my entire adult life, but most of my adult life. And one day he said, you have to put this book out, because these were just wisdoms that he gives me, and every page has a different wisdom on it. So what we do is we just flip through, and those of you who have been with me a while, I'm so grateful that you keep coming back, and I appreciate your comments, by the way. Some of you write me privately, others comment below. I encourage that. And I want to tell you just a quick story before we get a message from Philip. On one of my other sites, or one of my other videos, a young person, or I'm sorry, I say young because the soul felt young to me. I have no idea who the person is as a human, but spoke out and said this would be their last birthday. And I wrote back and I said, I'm sure your message got caught off, because you said this would be your last birthday, and I think you have many more. And the person wrote back and said, no, life is too horrible. I don't want another birthday. Well, not only did I respond, but members of what I consider a community, those of you who keep coming back to my videos week after week, or check out the other videos I have, I'm not the only one who responded to reach out to that person. And that's what a community is. That's what love is. That's what we're doing here. We're reaching out to one another to say, let's add love to the world. Let's make our personal lives more constructive with this powerful energy. So that adds to the beauty and love of the world. Okay, let's see what Philip says. Now you have to think left or right, because there's a message on each page, and we have a left and right page. And let's just see where we're supposed to stop and get our message this week. There we go. Okay, I'm thinking right, but I think I'm going to read left as well. Right. So if you were thinking right, you got it right. Okay, here we go. A thought endures as long as it exists within your mind. Ah, that goes right along with our message this week, doesn't it? A thought exists as, excuse me, a thought endures as long as it exists within your mind. Thoughts are forever. They just sit out there in the ethers. So let's be aware of what our thoughts are. And let's really, again, build constructively. All right, this is the left because I think this kind of fits in also. If you blink your eyes while staring at a fan, the spinning blades appear to be still. Which is the reality and which the illusion? The movement or the stillness? That goes along with discernment. Which is the reality? Which is the truth? Make sure, my friends, that this week you use that powerful energy to make your life better. And when you do, you make all life better. And be sure and use discernment. A good tool to have. Thank you for being with me today. I'm so grateful for you coming and visiting with me. And I'm so grateful that you're adding so much love to the world. Thank you. I love you. I love each and every one of you. And I'm so grateful you accept that love. And I love that you love me. Thank you.